Real numbers can be rational or irrational. Rational is a number that can be expressed as a fraction. And that number can be a fraction itself, like 1/2, or it can be a decimal, 0 0.4, because 0 0.4 is the same as 4/10, or a repeated decimal, 0 0.3 repeated. This is 1/3. Or it can be a mixed number, because this mixed number can be written as an improper fraction or a square root of a perfect square. Square root of 16 is 4, and we can rewrite these numbers as a fraction. Then they are rational. For rational numbers, we can have natural numbers. Natural numbers are the counting numbers. How do you count your fingers? You start out with 1, and then you go to 2, 3, and so on. And whole numbers Whole numbers are all the natural numbers, including 0. So the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then we have integers. Integers are all the whole numbers, including the opposite of the whole numbers. The opposite of 0 is 0, the opposite of 1 is -1, the opposite of 2 is -2, and so on. So integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers are rational. What about irrational? Irrational are numbers that are not rational. Or you can say the numbers that you cannot put into a fraction. And that number is pi. Pi is about 3.14, but we don't know when the decimal ends. Therefore, we cannot write the fraction for that. And then we have E. E is irrational. And you work with E in chapter 6. What about a square root of a non-perfect square? Square root of 2, square root of 5, square root of any non-perfect square is irrational. Or we can have a decimal that does not end, like 2.3678101 dot dot dot. Then this is an irrational number. Complement of a set is the set of elements of the universal set that are not elements of that set. And the notation that we are using is A prime or A to the power of C. It depends on the textbook. When you do your mom homework, you probably see A prime. And the union of two sets. The union of the two sets is the set of elements which are in either set. And the notation for the union is like a U. Intersection of two sets is the set of elements which are in both sets. And this is the notation for the intersection. Let's use equal universal set. It's a set of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And A is a set of 1, 2, and 3. B is a set of 2, 3, and 5. And C is a set of 0, 3, and 5. And I want you to find the set of A prime. Do you remember what A prime is? A prime is the complement of a set. And how do we find the complement of a set? A. We are looking for the set of elements of the universal set that are not elements of set A. So set A, we have 1, 2, and 3, and the universal set is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the complement of A is a set of 0, 4, and 5, because 0, 4, and 5 are the elements of set U, the universal set, but they are not elements in set A. Find A union B intersects C. So first we need to find A union B. A is a set of 1, 2, and 3, and B is a set of 2, 3, and 5. So to find A union B is the same as we are looking for the set of elements which are in either A or B. So the answer is a set of 1, 2, 3, and 5. Do you see that? This is a set of all the elements are either in A or in B. And then we do the intersection with set C. So the intersection is the same as we are looking for the set of elements which are in both sets. So look at set C. C is the set of 0, 3, and 5, and compare with the set of 1, 2, 3, and 5. What do they have in common? They have the 3 and the 5 in common. So the answer is a set of 3, 5. List the numbers in the set of 8, 3/4, radical 5, pi, 0, 1, negative 9, and 4.2 that are natural numbers. What are the natural numbers? The natural numbers are the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on. So for this set, the natural numbers are 8. 3 over 4 is not a natural number. Square root of 5 is not a natural number. Pi is not. 0 is not. What about 1? It is a natural number. A natural number cannot be negative or decimal. So we only have two elements, two numbers. And we want all the integers. We know that all the natural numbers are integers. So a and 1 are integers. An integer can be the opposite of the natural numbers. So what else can we have here? Negative 9. Can integer be 0? The answer is yes. So 0 is also an integer. So this one has four numbers, 8, 1, negative 9, and 0. What about rational numbers? All the integers 8, 1, negative 9, and 0 are rational numbers. And rational numbers are all the numbers that we can put into a fraction. What about 3 over 4? It is a rational number because it's already a fraction. Pi, square root of 5, they are not. But 4.2 is a rational number because we can put into a fraction. So this is the answer, which means square root of 5 and pi are irrational. We need to know how to approximate a decimal in this class. So how do we approximate 86.7339 rounded to 3 decimal places? We know that 86.7339 has 4 decimal places, and if we want this one to be 3 decimal places, then we put a vertical line between the third and the fourth decimal. If the number on the right hand side of the vertical line is 5 or greater, then we round it up. Otherwise, we drop everything on the right hand side. So this is 9. 9 means it's bigger than or equal to 5. Then the decimal is 86.734. We have to round it up. Approximate 86.7339 truncated to 3 decimal places. So we just write the 3 decimal places here, 86.733. We don't round the number. Simplify. First, what does simplify mean? Simplify means we are using all the operations to simplify to get the answer. So we have to apply PEMDAS. Do you remember what PEMDAS means? PEMDAS means we have to simplify the parenthesis first, that is P, and then the exponent. And for M and D, multiplication and division, we always do it from left to right. For addition and subtraction, we also do it from left to right. Whichever is on the left-hand side, we have to do it first. So for this expression, negative 2 to the fourth power minus 5 times 6 plus 5 times 4. So first we have to simplify the one in the parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, we have addition and multiplication. We have to do multiplication first, 5 times 4. And this would give us negative 2 to the fourth minus 5 times 6 plus 5 times 4 is 20. And then we have to simplify the one in parentheses again. So this is negative 2 to the fourth power minus 5 times 6 plus 20 is 26. And the parenthesis here means we multiply in 5 and 26 together. So here we have exponent subtraction and multiplication. We have to do the exponent before we multiply. So what is negative 2 to the fourth power? Negative 2 to the fourth power is the same as a negative of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And this is negative 16. So negative 16 minus 5 times 26. And we have to multiply before we subtract. 5 times 26 is 130. So we have negative 16 minus 130. And simplify this, we will get negative 146. And this is the answer. So to simplify this expression, we have to multiply first before we subtract. So 5 over 6 times 4 over 3 is 20 over 18. So we have 2 over 3 minus 5 times 4 is 20 and 6 times 3 is 18. And then to subtract, we need to find the LCD. But before we find the LCD, why don't we reduce the fraction first? Because it's easier to find the LCD. 20 over 18 can be reduced. So we have 2/3 minus 20 over 18 is the same as 10 over 9 if we divide the top and the bottom by 2. And the LCD for this is 9, so we multiply the first fraction by 3 top and bottom, and we'll get 6 over 9 minus 10 over 9. If we subtract and they have the same denominator, we keep the denominator the same and we subtract the numerators. 6 minus 10 is negative 4. So the answer is negative 4 over 9. For A over B minus C over D, we can simplify by finding the LCD. The LCD here is B times D because B and D, the denominators, don't have anything in common. So we multiply them together. So for the first fraction, we multiply by D top and bottom. The second fraction, we multiply by B top and bottom. So we can get A times D is AD over BD minus C times B is BC over BD. And they have the same denominator. We keep the denominator the same and we subtract the numerators. AD minus BC. And this is the answer. Write each statement using symbols. The sum of 3 and y is the sum of 2 and 5. So how do we write the statement using the symbol? The sum of 3 and y is the same as 3 plus y is means equal the sum of 2 and 5. So 2 plus 5. And we do not need to solve for y here. We just have to translate into an equation. And I have a handout on Canvas to help you with translation. You need to know how to translate in order to do the word problems. The quotient 2 divided by x is 6. The quotient means we divide. So the quotient 2 divided by x is the same as 2 over x is mean equals and then 6. So this is the answer. Use the distributive property to remove the parentheses. So to do this, we take 3 times x to get 3x minus 3 times 2y is 6y. And this is the answer. We have to know how to use the distributive property to remove the parentheses, so in the future we can solve the equations. By using the distributive property, we'll take negative 2a times b, and that would give us negative 2ab. Negative 2a times negative 3c. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 3 is 6, and a times c is ac. So the answer is negative 2ab plus 6ac.